Here are some tips for stress-free bulletin board application. Gather your supplies. You're definitely going to want a really good staple gun, something to measure with, some push pins. And then I go ahead and cut my paper using the floor and a laser to make sure everything's straight. Mark the center. Use a paper clip to mark the center and hold it along with each side. And then mark the center of your bulletin board with a push pin. Then you're going to use your push pins to unroll your paper onto your board, making sure it's nice and straight. And then I start to use my staple gun. I get all the bubbles out as I go. And now here I was hanging up some string that I'm going to hang some papers from, putting my borders on, layering them nice and neat. And now I am ready for the year.
Super easy way to add some dimension to your bulletin board, paper plates. Colored plates at the dollar store are super cheap. You don't have to cut anything. You literally just staple them to the board. You can really easily put letters or numbers or icons on the plate and have it kind of pop out. This is my top 10 reasons to visit the library.
I have learned so many tricks from TikTok. This tape strategy has saved me so much time when setting up my bulletin boards or my walls. I just line them up on a desk, tape over them, and then while they're up, I just put tape behind the letters, and then they're all lined up already. And it's so satisfying peeling off the tape.
Teacher Canva hack, part 8. We're going to create these cute bulletin board letter frames in just minutes. Start by creating a new design and make it square. Then you're going to choose any font that you want for your bulletin board letter. Literally any font. Put one letter per page, and then you're going to download them with a transparent background and make sure to compress the file. Once downloaded, save them to a file on your computer. Now you're going to choose Create Design, Custom Size 8.5 by 11, and look for the Image to Frame app in the app section. Insert one letter at a time per page. It's now time to add the cute background into the frame. So search elements for any type of design you would like. I did a retro style, and I would just drag and drop the photo into the frame. We can also create bulletin board letters that aren't frames. Just choose a font you would like. I chose that same retro looking font. And then I'm going to pick a color for my font. For this example, I'm going to use a bright pink. Then I'm going to go to Effects and Outline and just choose black, and then I can thicken that outline as much as I want. Super easy, 2 different bulletin board letters.
I made this really fun rainbow welcome banner that's going on a bulletin board at the elementary school. It's easier to make than you think. Here's how I did it. I typed the word welcome into design space, and then I selected ungroup. This detaches the letters from each other and allows you to change them to different colors. I'm going for a rainbow look, so I changed each color to a different color of the rainbow in order. Then I sent it to cut and cut out each letter by itself, and that's it. It's so easy to do.
So you can make bulletin board letters like this for free using Canva. First thing you want to do is add a text box by adding a heading. I changed my font to KA Honey, and then I go in and change the color and the size. Then I go into Effects and use the Splice tool. As you can see, you can move the offset and thickness. I wanted just basic letters, so I changed my offset so I would have a nice thick border. I like my letters to be 2 to a page to fit my board, but for larger boards, I would suggest 1 to a page. Save as a PDF and print.
All right, Teacher Tech Tip Tuesday, how to create a border on your computer that you can print off so that you can stop buying borders. This is a super easy thing to do, and it makes this so much more affordable. First, you're going to go in Canva, create an 8.5 by 11 because we're just printing these on our printer. Now, I know a lot of teachers cannot print in color, so I'm going to show you some black and white options. So you're going to go over here to Elements, and you're going to type in Frames. And all these frames are going to come up, and you're going to click See All. And what a frame is it's just like a regular frame in your house. It means that you can put any picture you want into that shape. So once I have that frame, I'm going to line it up on the edge of my paper just like that. And then I'm going to click the duplicate button, which is right down there, and I'm going to slide it down. And I'm going to do it one more time, and Canva has figured out what I'm doing, so it put it right where it was supposed to be. So this is my scallop border. Now I have to look for what I want my scallop border picture to be. So I'm going to click black and white polka dots, and I am going to type it in there, and then I'm going to go to photos, and I'm going to pick the one that I just picked the top one for this example, and I'm going to slide it over, And just like that, I have my black and white scalloped border that I can print off. Several of these, easy peasy. But I really like the layered look in my borders. So I like to have a straight edge border as well. So this is even easier. You just pick a rectangle from a frame, and then I kind of line it up just like this to see how far it goes over. Now, you could slip a picture in there and you could print it off just like that. For whatever reason, I like to print them both off and then staple them on the top of each other, but it seems really silly when I say it out loud like that. So now I'm going to find a pattern to go onto my straight edge border. I'm going to click hearts because for this example, I'm thinking a Valentine border. So I did those hearts. I did not like them. Then I did these candy hearts. I like that. So now I can print several of these. Cardstock is great, but I realize that's a luxury that a lot of us don't have. These right here are just paper and they work just fine. So let me know if you can do this yourself.
We have an adorable and fun border idea for you. We get this jumbo burlap ribbon from our local Walmart. And check out the beautiful results we are getting. To attach the burlap to your bulletin board, you're going to use staples. All you have to do is add a staple, and then you're going to alternate directions with your burlap while also giving a little bit of slack so it creates these cute little bubbles. And that's it. Simply repeat those steps all the way around your bulletin board, and this creates a beautiful, thick, frilly border option that creates a lot of dimension and definitely a cute result.
Teacher tip: adding a black border to a bulletin board. Color the staples with a black Sharpie or marker. You can't even tell that they are there.
How I feel about certain design choices with little to no explanation. Yes. Yes. Absolutely yes. For me, this one's yes. Yes, and I don't care that it's impractical. I like this. I think I might like this even more. Yes, of course. Yes. Yes, I've grown really fond of this. Surprisingly, I actually like this.
Let's make this fun paper fan garland that we use to decorate a bulletin board. Step 1 is using a standard 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. We are going to do an accordion fold all the way through. Next, we are going to fold our accordion folded paper in half. We choose to use cardstock paper because it's a little bit more sturdy than regular paper. For the next step, you can use a hot glue gun or a stapler, but we are going to secure both sides together. Next, we are going to glue our individual fans together, making sure that the folds are on opposite sides of one another each time you add one on. And then you're going to repeat that step over and over again. We are using white cardstock, and wait until you see what we do next. So you know, if a store doesn't have the correct color paper you're looking for, we have a hack that is going to blow your mind. Did you know that you can actually spray paint paper? We made this gorgeous white chain, and then we used some spray paint we had laying around to create this beautiful ombre look. And check out how it looks around our bulletin board. We are absolutely obsessed.
Hey y'all, come along with me as I make the bubble border for my hallway bulletin board. First, put any background you'd like, grab some butcher paper, I chose white, and then I measure the length of the bottom of the board to make it long. Don't worry about cutting neat because you're gonna crumple the paper anyway. And of course, it falls on me. You're going to lay the paper down and cut it into 4 strips, and it honestly doesn't matter how big or small you cut the strips, that is completely up to you. I tend to cut them a little bigger just because that's how I like it. You're going to crumple the paper up, so again, it really doesn't matter how you cut it. I like to start on the corner of the shortest side because it does get a little bit tiring and it starts to hurt your shoulders after a while. You're going to staple every so often, making a little bubble with the paper as you go along the border. A little tip, you want to make sure that you are stapling parallel to the bulletin board, and I will show you here in a minute of why that matters. I also like to go between bigger and smaller bubbles just to kind of give it that fluffier look. You're going to repeat this step over and over again, and y'all, I was not kidding when I said it starts to hurt. But what I love about this bubble border is it is so quick, y'all. It took me about 25 to 30 minutes from start to finish, and that's crucial as a teacher. Just a reminder that as you are going through this, to stop and fluff your bubbles and make sure it looks clean. I purposefully stapled the top vertical so you could see what it looked like compared to when you do it parallel with the bulletin board, which I think it looks cleaner that way, but it's totally up to you. Plus how big or small you make the bubbles. And this is what it looks like when you're finished. Let me know in the comments what you want to see more of.
Is this border trim hack extra? Yes. Does it make your bulletin boards look amazing? Also yes. Put up your border trim as normal, making sure the pieces overlap a little. Use the edge of your scissors to score a line on the bottom piece of trim. Flip it up and cut along that line. Repeat the scoring and cutting for the other piece of border. Now take a ruler and align it to where the corners of the border trim meet. Score along that line and cut just the top piece of trim. Staple it down, and now you have the perfect mitered corners.
Day 2, we had to get into the bulletin boards. Don't mind me dropping things as usual. This is brought to you by Schoolgirl Style. Love their stuff. Find out if you want yours to go horizontal or vertical. I'm a horizontal kind of girl. Now, here's the thing. They probably make these in a straight edge, but I couldn't find it. So just flip that thing, girl. We're not going to see it anyway. Okay, first layer is done all the way around the board. Go in with your second. And this one you're going to put on the outer edge of your board. And then here go the blue. Swoop, slide that thing right underneath. I wanted to make sure it would be cute, so I only did this little section first. And then boom, here we go. All done. It's real cute and simple.
Is there something happening with her board? What's going on with your board? Am I seeing things? Is your board changing colors? Yeah, it is. And I'll show you how I did it. So first, this is just simply a whiteboard, and I put this contact paper over the whiteboard. Then I got 2 borders. I put the first border down, and then in between, offset, is a little LED strip of lights. This comes with a remote, so I can change the modes and the colors as often as I wanted to, but I just leave it on this because it's very calm and very subtle. Here's what it looks like when there are no lights on in my room. And this is, of course, very early morning. Now the hack for my letters. Found these cute little letters online, but they were for a regular bulletin board, so I just bought sticky magnets, and now I can just move them wherever I want to. And this is usually the view that you see for my teacher reactions videos. I've done episodes 1 through 27. Check them out if you haven't already. If you want to get any of this stuff exactly the way that I have it, I think we all know where to look at this point. Without saying any of the words. Yeah, I know, because then they'll just flag it.